All right. So thank you, Foundation Health Partners, for attending this mobile app demo today. And good morning. I know it's all around 10 a.m. your time, which over here on the East Coast, we're going on 2 o'clock. So thank you so much for joining us today. How this demo will work is I'm going to go over the Wellworks mobile app. And if you were on, we did have a call in January that went over the Wellworks portal. So whenever I say Wellworks portal, that essentially is the web browser version of Wellworks or your desktop version. In knowing that your population is a hospital healthcare system, we know a lot of you may be on your feet throughout the day and believe that the mobile app might be more conducive to you than maybe perhaps that web browser version. So we will go through this, and then any questions, please add them in the chat box and we will review them at the end. Okay, so you have to go download the app via the Apple Store if you have an Apple phone, or Android would be that Google Play. It's just simply called Wellworks. So once you download that, you'll be able to log in. So for those of you that are not aware, we do have your account credentials. They are already created for you. So your username is going to be your Foundation Health Partners email address. And your temporary password is going to be your date of birth. So that's going to be in the month, day, year format. And that is a temporary password. So after that first time that you log in, you can then switch that to whatever password you choose. And I'm going to sign in. Whoops. Let's see. Did I get my password wrong? Okay, so here we go. And I apologize. I actually don't think I introduced myself. I think I just jumped right in. So my name is Cassidy Correa, and I am with Wellworks. So I am here today doing this portal or doing this mobile app demo. And with me, I do have my colleagues, Kelly Burke, Natalie Zimmerman, and Jessica Plass. So we are all here to support you. So just wanted to do a brief introduction before we dive in. Okay, so once you log in, this is the view that you're going to see. It's going to say good afternoon and then your name. Obviously, we have admin there because this is my admin account. And then first things first, you'll see right here the wellness year that you're in. So this wellness year is January 1 through September 1. Now, a really great feature here, if you participated in the program last year, you can go back to last year to see your points. So by clicking this little caret or arrow down, you can toggle between wellness years. So if I wanted to go back to last year, which was January 1 through September 15th, I can go click if for any reason I wanted to see my points, which are in the upper left-hand corner. These are the points that I received last year. So for the sake of the presentation, we will go back to year 2. Once you click the activities, you'll see right here, it just displays general information about the program, the dates, what your deadline date is as September 1st. You'll also see this little chart, and that shows your point tiers, followed by the incentive tied for each tier that you get to. So you have your PPO, your HSA, and your non-medical plan. You also have the details of those payouts listed here as well. So if you ever forget what it is, you can just come back to those activities, this main hub, and this will list that. So now if you go down here, which we're going to get into these in a little bit more detail soon, but I just wanted to show you that you can see how many points I have currently for the program. And you'll see this list, all of the activities that we have and their point values. Once you see that bubble with a green check mark, that means that I earned points for those particularly, and those are then linked to this point value at the top. So going back to the home page, we're going to go to the left. We're going to start from left to right. We're going to click this little menu bar. Up top, you have the ability to edit your profile. So you would just click edit profile. I do see some of you all have your profile pictures. If you want to change that, you can edit details here. Another item that you can edit is your communication settings and what type of communications you would want to receive. So for example, I put on health nudges. I really like these because you'll receive them once a week. I think it's every Wednesday from Wellworks. They're just little inspirational messages. So if you have that clicked on, you will be able to receive those. And then you can kind of just scroll down. It's all your own preference. So you can go in here and just see what you'd like turned on, what you would like turned off. And then going back here, if you click program, that'll go link us directly back to the wellness activities and the points. And then we're going to get into the wellness locker. So it's exactly what you think it would mean. It's a locker. It houses all the important documents, forms, visuals, guides for your wellness program. So we always drop those items in here, and I'll review them briefly. But as far as program forms go, the only program form that Foundation Health Partners has is your annual physical proof of visit form to earn points. So that being said, you would just take this to your doctor for your annual wellness exam. You would just get your signature by your physician and then send that into us for points. There are no biometrics attached to this. So again, it's simply just sending in your proof of visit. And just to note here, there is a back date. So if you did go to the doctor's anytime between September 1st, 2022 through September 1st, 2023, you can earn points for that, which I will show you how to submit this form shortly. So going down here in the program documents, you're also going to have your wellness newsletter. Since obviously we started just in January, you're just going to have January's and February's, but I'll just click on this one so you can see what they look at. You can zoom in, obviously. There's different health observances that we go over. These are all created in-house by our Wellworks team. My favorite page is this last page where you have a featured recipe. So you can always come in here if you're looking for a new idea for dinner. These are some great recipes here to look at. Now, I will say the importance of the newsletters for your wellness program is there is an activity tied to it. So we will send out these newsletters via the Wellworks portal monthly, and we do attach points to them. So we'll get to that activity shortly, but you are able to earn points for reading the newsletter by taking a quiz. So I'm going to get into WellBeats Access Guide. So I'm going to go over this briefly, and then we're going to get into WellBeats a little bit more shortly. But I did want to just review this just while we're on the call today, that just to clarify, I think sometimes WellBeats and Wellworks can get confusing, both with the well in the name. So just a reminder, so Wellworks is your wellness hub, right? Is the technology that hosts your wellness portal. It is the portal demo that we're doing today. And within your program, we have a third-party vendor. It's called WellBeats. And they are a virtual fitness and nutrition vendor that has videos. They have different programs, etc. There's different videos and content ranging from, weightlifting to, cooking classes, to meditation, to mindfulness, to, all different things. So I encourage you to check it out. But the reason why I wanted to show you this is there is 2 different ways to log in, and that's what this document shows, the WellBeats Access Guide. So you can log in directly from the Wellworks portal. So like I said earlier, the portal, whenever we say that, that is that desktop version or the web browser version. And then if you were to log in from your mobile app, you do have to follow these steps first. So you do have to download the WellBeats app. After you download it, you will go to the Wellworks mobile app and then select the WellBeats tile, which I'll do shortly just to show you how to do that. However, one important note when reading these directions for the first time, so if you have never logged into Wellbeats yet, the first time you do have to log into it via the portal, the desktop version. And that's just to sign off on those initial forms, those disclosure forms, et cetera. And then from there, it creates that SSO connection, meaning you don't have to create a username or password, is directly linked from your Wellworks portal. So we'll go back out here, but that's a great resource that we will definitely revisit shortly. Later, I'm going to go over the device app syncing guide and device app troubleshooting tips. Your program guide is also housed in here. This is the full program guide that has all the different activities along with an explanation for each. While the mobile app does have the similar description, this is a little bit more in depth. So if you want to learn more about the wellness portal, additional information, etc., there's a lot more detail in here. And then last, we have program videos. So we did do a Wellworks portal overview in January. So if you have any questions about how to navigate that site, we go over that within that presentation. We also last year did a Wellbeats portal demo as well. So we actually met with that vendor and they went over that Wellbeats app and sorry, someone's joining. They went over that Wellbeats app. So I encourage you to look into that platform, that video as well. And then we also have a device app syncing video. That is the visual version or the live version of how to sync your device and app. So again, Wellness Locker, important materials here. Okay, so going back, we have the Wellbeats. So with the Wellbeats, just to show you, you do have to download Wellbeats first. Okay, so step one, go to your Google Store or Apple Store, download Wellbeats, go back to Wellworks, click Wellbeats, hold on tight. Click it right. Okay, maybe I didn't click it. So when you log in here, you'll see it just bypasses that connection because it's an SSO connection, and then you have the mobile app version here. So again, I'm not going to go into the Wellbeats app in granular detail today because there is that mobile app, or sorry, the Wellbeats demo that we did last year that you can find in the Wellness Locker. But I just wanted to show you a visual of what it looks like on your phone. And you can also use this on your computer as well. So going back to the Wellworks app, I'm going to skip over devices to the end. You can also contact us and send a form. So if you have any questions at all, this goes directly to my inbox. So I just ask that you provide, detailed information for any questions or comment or feedback that you have. And then from here, you can type in your message. And then for the forms, if you wanted to send in that annual physical form, you can do it directly from here. You can just select whatever document you would browse, and then you would just go down here and click. It's for the proof of annual visit right there. Going back. So one of your activities to earn points is to do an e-learning series, which you have a variety here between ergonomics, nutrition talk, healthy mom, healthy baby, and sleep talk. So when you go into one of these, I'll just go into one to show you. You do have to complete something it's called the pre-module survey. So you have to complete that first, and then you go into each modules, and it's to take a small quiz. Once you complete that quiz, you can then go on to the next module. And then when you're complete after module 4, for example, you would just need to follow up with that post-module survey, and then your points will go directly to your account right after you finish that. This is also where I did talk about those newsletter quizzes to earn points. So we have the newsletters. Those are in the Wellness Locker. And then from there, you can come here and take those quizzes. The quizzes are about anywhere from 3 to 5 questions. Once you complete that quiz, and once you complete that quiz accurately, you will then receive points to your account. So that's the e-learning. So going back to the home interface, I'm then going to show you this little bell. So this little bell up here is all your notifications. So essentially it's all the emails that Wellworks has sent between challenge emails, past newsletters, etc. So you'll see right here that we, just to kind of revisit that newsletter quiz, this shows you the instructions on how to complete it and where to go on the portal. So you will receive that. So for whatever reason, if you miss an email, I know everyone's inbox can fill up very quickly nowadays. So if you ever like, you know what, I can delete that email and look at it via the app later, that's where you can do so. You come back to this bell. We also have free meditation signups every month. So you can attend live sign up. This is just an additional resource for you if you choose to use it. And then in addition, while we have everyone here, we do have a challenge. This challenge will be starting February 27th. This has the instructions listed here in the document, but what we'll do today, I'll show you the challenge button on the mobile app so I can show you how to sign up for that. Okay, so that's the notifications. Now let's go to the bottom. So you have your home screen. Whenever you click that little house, it'll bring you back to your main page right here. You have a stream. These are all articles vetted from mostly Harvard Health. If you have time to read through them, there's some really good content in here. So I just recommend you taking a look if you have time. And then from here, we'll go into our challenges button. So you'll see right now there's two challenges. The yearly healthy habits challenge is exactly what it sounds like. It is for the entire year. So this is something that is ongoing. Once you complete 50 of those challenge items, you will then receive points. So you can only complete one per day. These are little great reminders, a great way to just check in. So you would just, you can scroll down, you can complete in any type of order that you want. So let's just say, it's just an honor system. It's really there for that reminder and to build upon the habit. Let's just say I did this. I would just mark it as complete. And then over here, you can see something called the leaderboard. The leaderboard just shows anyone that wants to be visual on the leaderboard with their name. You can do anonymous as well, and you can just see how many habits other employees have completed. Just a reminder, this is all year long. So some of these individuals who have higher habits here, they may have been doing it since January. So you can hop in at any time. And obviously there's just 50 habits that you can complete. So that is the leaderboard if you want to see what your fellow colleagues are up to. And then this walking trail challenge. Okay, so this begins February 27th. So we did send out a communication 2 days ago. That was a sign up email. So you have a couple weeks to sign up. It is an individual walking challenge. So you would be able to connect your app or device if you want to sync steps directly, or if you want to add steps manually. I will show you how to do that as well. So right now you can see 73 people have signed up in the past 2 days. So if I click on this, I already signed up, but this shows my progress. Obviously the challenge doesn't start until the 27th, so there's not really any progress. For this challenge, it is a minimum of 1,500 steps a day, which is fairly easy to complete. We know it's pretty cold there and in Alaska right now, so it's a great challenge just to kind of get yourself back in the groove for spring. That also shows a leaderboard as well. So once you start to get steps in after the 27th, you can see your fellow colleagues here if you choose to be anonymous or your name. There's also a check-in button. If you like to keep track of your gym check-ins, you can do that here. This is not tied to any points for the program, but some people just want to do it anyways. And now this is a big one. We're going to get into the activity button. This is a huge part of your program since Foundation Health Partners does track a lot of different items in here. So I'm going to go through this pretty thoroughly and then we'll get to the points after. Okay, So if you were to sync your device, so this first shows at the top the date, whatever date we're in, you can go back, right? You can backtrack and look at different dates. Your steps that would sync would come over to this little box right here. That's going to be your steps. If you wanted to manually add steps for whatever reason, you can click add steps. And I'm just going to show you for the sample 12,000. It's pretty high, but we'll go with it. You can see right here. Now, if I want to see more of a timeline version or a graph, if I click on the steps, you can see all the steps that I completed the past week or so. So this is a really great way to just gauge your activity. So I've the total is at the top, so 54,000 steps I've completed since the program started. And then you'll see this past week, you can see on the left side menu bar, it's in the thousands. So 12 is that 12,000 step threshold. Okay, over here, active minutes. Essentially, your active minutes, right? Your workouts. You're able to double dip, which I'll show you in a little bit about Wellbeats, but let's just say you do a 20-minute Wellbeats workout. You can come in here and manually log that in. Let's just say I did a HIIT workout and I did it for 22 minutes, not 22 hours. That would be a little much. 0, 22 minutes, confirm. So it tells you a general look at your categories or calories burned, and then you're just going to click save. So if you go to, a local gym after you're done, you can log that in here. And I love it because then you can track and see like what you've done throughout the week. Now going down here, something new that we did initiate this wellness year is to track your sleep. So I already put in a couple of days so you can see my graph, but you would still log your sleep here. And how you would do that, you just do the sleep date. So we'll do from mine from last night. So yesterday was February 14th. I went to bed at, let's say, 10:30. And then I got up today, which is February 15th. And what time did I wake up today? We'll say 6:30. Confirm, save, calculates the hours for you. Great, so that just shows you. And if I want to go back to my little bar graph, which I love this about the sleep app, you can see your trends, right? So the whole idea of, not only tying points to these activities, it's great just to see and observe what type of, sleep you're getting, steps you're tracking. If you want to add your weight, if you feel comfortable doing that, you can add that in here. For water, you would then add water consumed here. So I would just put in the amount of ounces that I drink, for per day. So at the end of the day, I want to go in and I want to put in my 120 ounces. We'll say that's decent. Put that in there. And then you can also see my chart to track. So I could say, okay, on the 14th, I only got like a little over 6, but the other days, I think just for the sake of timing, I just put in random times, but you'll see that chart right here. Or this is for the water, sorry, the water, the different ounces. And then food plan. So this is where you can log your food. And again, like I said, I'm going to go and tie in the points for each activity shortly, but I just want to really show you how to utilize this part of your mobile app. So logging food. So for this one, I will say it's the most user-friendly when you go to the mobile app. And when you go in here, this is where you're going to log your food. You're just going to click log food. And then from here, you're going to select your date. So you're going to put in today's 2:15. I'm going to put in, let's see, oatmeal. Find food. Okay. All different kinds of oatmeal, right? Tons of different varieties. So I'm just going to say, for the sake of today, I'm going to do oatmeal crisp with almonds. There's other varieties that you can see. There's a page 2. I'm selecting. And number of servings, 1 serving. It's my breakfast. Add to my food plan. Added. One thing I do recommend as you start adding your food in here and logging it, since you do get points for that on a monthly basis, instead of searching the different types of oatmeal every time, I'm sure many of you might be creatures of habit. Maybe you rotate through 3 or 4 breakfasts, if that, or lunches or things of that nature. So you can make meals favorites. So these are the ones that I made favorites. This way, once I have built out my archive, I can just search from these, right? This way, if I know that I have oatmeal with almonds sometimes, oatmeal with fruit sometimes, I can come out here. Let's just say I know I eat pizza once a week, my favorite pizza with the meat and vegetables, thin crust. I have that here ready for me. So I know at first it can be a little challenging trying to navigate and look through all the different menus and different items, but I will say there is the ability to add your favorites there. Let me see if I can show you how to do that. Let's go to salad. Let's just say I want to do this fruit salad, select right here, this little button, favorite. Let's say I eat that, as a snack a lot. I'm going to add to my plan. So then when I go back, my apple and fruit salad dressing, sorry, that will be one of my favorites. So we'll have to play around with it for a little bit, but that is where you're going to log your food. Okay, so this is going to be your activity where food, water, weight, sleep, steps, active minutes live. If you do, we don't track for your program any health metrics. However, I know some individuals might want to track those. So if you do, you can come into this section and you can track anything that you would like. If for some reason you track your glucose daily, etc., you can come into here and play around here. But for the sake of this presentation, we won't go into that since it's not part of the program at whole. Great, awesome. So we're going to go back. Now we're going to get into the more in-depth. We're going to go back to home. We're going to go back into the wellness activity. So it's a points-based program, like I said earlier. So you'll see all these different items have points attached to them. So that proof of wellness visit, like we went over that form earlier, I can send my form also through Contact Us button, but also directly through here. The e-learning series, this is where you'll see your points dropped for earning those. Your yearly healthy habits activity, the underneath the challenge button that I showed you a little bit earlier, completing those 50 different activities. Once you complete those, you will then receive points right away. Now, there's a couple different self-reported activities. So again, just the honor system as far as blood donation and community wellness. Some people I do know donate blood a lot, or maybe if your hospital or anywhere like that has a blood drive, you can come in here and then just confirm your participation. Just click literally that button, and then you'll get your points right away. The same thing for community wellness. If you do any type of volunteer work in your community, come in here as the honor system and then plug your points in. So there is something called the next activity I wanted to review called the Mindera Mental Wellbeing Index. So it's a mouthful. So it's one of our partners called Mindera, and they will measure essentially this. It's a survey for all the employees to take. And what we'll get from that survey, it's aggregate data, right? So all of your answers, they are strictly private and confidential. We're just getting an aggregate report to see if there's any different just items that we can review. So we'll get a report and it might say like anxiety is something that your demographic deals with. It'll tell us like the number of people, just the number of people that reported it, or maybe people have sleep issues, etc. So a lot of these just like mental health items that we really just want to share with your employers to get that overall snapshot so that we can integrate it more into this wellness year and the wellness years after. So something really important to note, you'll get 1,000 points when you complete this. you'll receive 1,000 points for taking the survey. This activity only runs January through April. The reason why we do it for a short amount of time, is because we want to get that data so we can actually see that report and see if we can apply any of those areas of opportunity to the wellness program this year. So it's going to go through April 30th, and then your points will be received in May. So it says right here, points will be awarded after the activity cycle is complete in May. So once everyone completes it and has that fair opportunity, you'll get those points. So you're just simply taking a survey. It's about, like they said, 8 minutes long to complete, and you're just literally clicking this link right in here. Very important to note, you want to make sure you use your Foundation Health Partners email address in order to receive credit. Again, we're just getting the aggregate data of who completed it. We're not seeing any results at all. But you do have to use your Foundation Health Partners email address in order to get credit in our system. Okay, so daily step activity, right? We went over our steps. So really great opportunity. You can earn 10 points for every 1,000 steps. So for example, 5,000 steps equals 50 points. Your daily max is 140 points. So essentially that would be 14,000 steps. That maxes out your point threshold. So this just shows you, if you were on the you can do that, through the mobile app, or if you are on the wellness portal, you can do that under something called the fitness and nutrition dashboard on the wellbeing desktop. Active minutes. This one's a little bit different. So it's 1 point for every active minute, which equals 30 minutes. So which equals 30 points, for example. So 30 minutes equals 30 points. Your maximum point threshold for this activity is 45. And these points, step activity, daily active minutes, right? You're getting those instantly, right? Once you start to create those steps and those habits, you're getting these points pulled over right away. And then we have monthly step activities. So if you reach 140,000 steps in 1 month, once you hit that 140, which could be well before the month even ends, let's just say you hit it on February 20th, you'll get those points right away. And an even greater goal is hitting those 200,000 steps a month. So this will reset every single month. So let's just say I hit my step threshold. I already got my 200 points for this month, for example. It'll reset March 1st. So I can't really earn any more points above that threshold, but it's great because you can get one for 140,000 and one for 200,000. Okay. For these activities, you'll see there's opportunities monthly to track your meals. So I'm just going to go into February. So January has passed. So once that month has passed, that opportunity is no longer there to earn points for that month. However, I can still earn points for February. Essentially, you're tracking 20 meals. So that's 20 entries. So we went through that activity part of your mobile app. So you can also track snacks. So just think of it as 20 meals as 20 entries. So for this, we do have to pull a report at the end of the month and upload that to the wellness portal. It's not something that is immediately credited. So I did note that in red here. So if you tracked 20 meals during the month of February, you will receive points during that first week of March. So that first 7 days of March, you should see your points come through. And then for whatever reason, if you don't, or maybe double check if you really did track 20 meals, just hit that contact us button and reach out and I will look into your account for you. But you'll earn 300 points. You have the opportunity to earn 300 points a month. So you'll see all of these going down here. There's nothing that you need to do and signing up for these activities. It's a tracking based on that activity section. So same type of cadence we're following here for your water tracking. So you're tracking 20 days of water intake or 20 entries. And from there, you'll be able to earn 300 points. Along with the meal tracking, this also falls into the same pattern that if you tracked, 20 days of water intake during the month of February, you'll receive points during that first week of March. So that is water. Going down, lots of opportunities. And then sleep. Okay, so there's two opportunities to earn points for sleep. You'll see these points are a little bit higher here, right? So you have 750 two times. So you're going to be looking to track your sleep January through April. So there's still time to catch this first round. So essentially, we're just looking for you to track 40 days of sleep, right? And you can earn points two times a year for doing that. So 40 days is a little over a month, and we're calculating for January, February, March, April. So there's still plenty of time. If you have not gotten started, you can still track 40 days and earn those points. So points will be updated in May for the first half of the year, and then they'll be updated in September for that second half of the year. So May through August and January through April. You'll then see the newsletter quizzes that I talked about earlier. Once you complete that quiz underneath the e-learning series section, you will then get those points. So these monthly quizzes pop up with the month. So we're in February, so you're only going to see January's and February's in here. Okay, let's circle back to Wellbeats. So again, Wellbeats is that virtual fitness nutrition platform. You have the ability to earn 1,000 points every single month if you log into this platform and utilize it for 100 minutes. So this right here shows you how to navigate it. This also follows that same cadence, since it's a third-party vendor. We'll receive that report from them the first week of the month. So your points will be uploaded that first 7 days. So this also will be along with the water tracking and the meal tracking. This will also be on a monthly basis. So that first week of the month, you will probably see a lot of points come through if you've been active. So 100 minutes a month, I mean, for example, I do a lot of those 20-minute workouts. I mean, that's only, what is that? Maybe if I do that for 10 days straight, 20 minutes. So we have that. Keep going down, a lot of opportunities, complete a program. Okay, so Wellbeats has these different programs. So for example, if I wanted to do a yoga program, it's really great. It's almost like an individual challenge where you start it, it gives you day one, it might be fundamentals of yoga, then you go to day two, and it might be like a vinyasa flow for a half an hour. Day three might be rest day 4, etc. So once you complete a program, that's what that basically is discussing. So for this year, there will be a specific Wellbeats program for all employees to participate in, either probably twice this year. So essentially what that looks like is you'll receive an email, you'll receive a communication that Foundation Health Partners really wants to encourage. I'm making this up, for you to do a program within Wellbeats called Move with Heart. Let's just say it's focusing on your heart for the month of February. That's one that, they had. So they have them monthly. And this is really great because it gets everyone on the same page, right? Everyone will be able to do that challenge or that program within the same amount of time frame, right? It really helps camaraderie and be able to talk to your colleagues like, hey, are you doing the Love with Heart Wellbeats challenge? And there will be more details on that upcoming once we have decided that. So just so you are aware, that will be coming soon, but once you complete that specified program, you will earn points. And then one more activity here, we have update the About Me on the Wellbeats platform. So same thing, these Wellbeats. When you go into Wellbeats, there's a section called About Me on your profile. Essentially, the first time that you log on, like I said earlier, you do have to go from the wellness portal, the wellbeing desktop, for you to gain that instant access and for the SSO connection to be complete. And that being said, I would just recommend going to the About Me section on the profile, which it just asks you, what type of activities do you like to do? What type of workouts do you mostly do at home? What's the frequency of your workouts? So you will receive points. We get that report monthly, and you'll get those points, the same cadence, the first week of the month. It's also really great because once you answer those questions from there, your Wellbeats profile starts calculating, has that algorithm of knowing, okay, I know that Cassidy likes yoga. I know that she likes 20-minute workouts. So you'll be able to have a more customized view. And then from here, you have that walking challenge. So again, once that walking challenge is over, you will earn 1,000 points. Okay, so last but not least, I'm going to show you the device app connection button. So if I were to click this, if you have an Apple device, you are going to want to connect to Apple Health, right? If you have any other device or app, you're going to select this button and you're going to go down here to see, like, one of the more popular ones is Fitbit, we see a lot, Garmin devices. I would say those are the two most popular. Also Under Armour, I see a lot. And then what happens from there, for example, eye health, in order for your data to be collected, right, you have to go into that actual app or create an account, right? So you have to make that initial connection first, whatever device that you choose. Something important to note is you can only have one device connected in order for your steps to sync. So what I mean by that is, let's just say that I have a trail runner app, but I forgot to delete it. It's there in the background, but then I'm trying to connect my Apple Watch. So those would be two conflicting apps, right? They're both collecting steps or both collecting data. So it confuses the system. So you just have to remember only one app in terms of collecting steps or, fitness activity. So I would just double check to make sure you only have one connected and just select that as the dominant one. As far as resources on how to connect your device, let's just say you're like, I'm having trouble. Where do I go from here? Obviously, please feel free to reach out to me directly. I go to the wellness locker. Oh, I don't know why it's not showing that. I think my device is not sure what's going on. So that being said, there is a couple, I think I briefly scanned over them earlier. Essentially what we have is in the Wellness Locker, we have a device app connecting guide. So you can go in there and it talks about the Apple device. It talks about the, Android devices, the best way to connect. And there's also troubleshooting tips. So if you're like, I connected, where are my steps? My recommendation for you would be to first look at that troubleshooting guide. And then from there, if you are having further issues, please email me and let me know and provide as much detail as possible saying, I attempted to sync my device on 2:13, it's 2:15, I don't see steps coming over, letting me know what type of device you have, etc. And then I can get into it more granular and more one-on-one with you and support you that way. Obviously we have many, many different devices that we support, and we have to go through a third party called Validic to collect the data. So there are times where there might be a setting that might be off. There is certain settings, for example, under Apple Health, you have to allow all in terms of the data to come over. So if you don't have those settings on, for example, sometimes it's a very quick fix that your settings are locked or inhibiting steps from coming over, and you just need to make a quick update there. Other times, excuse me, it could be the mobile app version is not updated. So for example, sometimes if you have an Apple phone, I know from my own experiences, there is I get like a notification that an update is occurring. And what that means is any apps, which obviously if you're like me and have a million apps, they all have to be updated frequently, right? They all have people behind the scenes dealing with different bugs and things of that nature. So you'll see down here, this is the mobile app version. So if I ever ask you that question and you're troubleshooting and we're having issues, we want to make sure we're on the most up-to-date mobile app version. And to check that, you can always go to your mobile app store and you'll see that version and you'll see that number up here. So just a little tech tip right there. We want to make sure it's the most up to date. I know some people don't always have their automatic updates on, so I just recommend you looking in your settings and seeing if you have those automatic updates on. but I feel like that covers the majority of the device talk. So I guess we can wrap it up here with questions. So we can go into the chat first. Kelly, can you assist me with the chat?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. So Alicia said that her Wellbeats program closes by itself often. Is this common?
Okay, so Alicia, my question for you would be, are you logging in from the the Wellworks app, or are you logging directly in from the Wellbeats app? So first I'd recommend double checking that. Okay, yes, the Wellworks app. Okay. The next thing what I would do is just double checking and making sure it's the most up-to-date version. So looking at the Apple Store and looking at Google Play and just making sure that your version is the most up-to-date there. Because like I said, if there's any bugs that were fixed, you may have an older version if your phone doesn't automatically update. Um, Sometimes I will say if you go to Wellbeats, so it can take a moment to like see how there's sometimes it could depend on your Wi-Fi. It could also depend on, right now I have notifications off. I tried to stop them, so I feel like my airplane mode might be causing a delay, but I would just try it, like always give it 1 or 2 times. Um, I noticed this came up recently for a couple individuals. So just reach out to me directly and let me know if there's something crashing, if it's, a certain amount of times that you're going in, if it's a certain, time of day, etc. See, it just took me like 2 times to really get through. And I don't know if that's because I have literally a mirror app, I'm sharing, etc. But I just would recommend if you want to reach out to me directly and then we can troubleshoot from there. The next question. Kelly, sorry, the way that my screen is, I'm not really able to see the question.
Yes, Sarah just also to piggyback off of Alicia's question said she has the same problem. Sometimes it won't even open.
Okay, yeah, no, this is great information. I did know that Sarah did reach out to me separately and I am in conversations with Wellbeats, just to kind of review this further and see what is going on, whether it's a specific device or it is something global. So I definitely will reach out, back to you, Sarah, and then Alicia, if you just want to shoot me an email, I can keep you in the loop as well. Okay, next question.
Let me see. I think Alicia was referring to the fitness and nutrition dashboard, but she asked if you sleep during the day, like 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. one day, but then you go to bed at 10 p.m. the same day, does it get confused if there is more than one entry for the same day?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have not actually played around with that. So my suggestion would be just to try it. What I think would happen it would probably just double dip, meaning like it'll have 2 entries to equal the full amount of hours. And if that doesn't work for whatever reason, my suggestion would just be to do your total. So you might have to just do the math. Okay, it was an 8-hour total. But what I'm thinking is if you try it, I would just suggest trying the way you actually go about your sleep and see if the 2 entries equal the amount of hours, if that makes sense. Okay, next question.
Johnny said, you said logging food is most convenient on the app. Did you mean to say it is more convenient to log food on the computer portal?
Yes, my apologies. It is more convenient. That's the way that this section is set up on our fitness and nutrition dashboard on our portal. And from there, you'd be able to log in. And that's why I suggested earlier, a number of times that you first put it in, like I said, could be cumbersome because you do have to search different types of foods, etc. But like I said, my recommendation would be to make those favorites. So the more you go in, you're going to build your own custom arsenal. So totally up to you if you want to navigate it through the app or through the portal. But that is right now how we operate. Okay, what's next?
Sarah asked, do I have to finish a program in the time they suggest? I'm a week behind on a program because of vacation. Will I still get the points for completing even though it took me longer? And then she also asked if she won't get the points for the program she's doing now, only the specific one.
Yeah, so since what we're doing is we're going to do it for a specific one. Obviously, we still encourage you to complete programs, but we'll be announcing in a specific one that we want everyone to complete, or probably two throughout the wellness year. And then that it.
Um, And then Alicia just added on to what we were discussing. She says both Wellbeats and Wellworks for you do not have an update in the Play Store. She must have the current, but it is not the same one as you were just showing on your screen.
Okay, it's not the same version, or okay, so when you see, and Alicia, if you feel comfortable, we can have you come off mute. If not, totally fine. But what I'm seeing right now in terms of version, are you saying that it looks different for you?
My mobile app version is 3.0.44, and that wasn't what you had on yours. On the Wellworks for you, not Wellbeats.
Oh, okay. And do you remember? And
Yeah,
I have had this on my. I have to check and see if my settings actually update it automatically, so I can check. So it would be whatever is in the store. So my version, my settings on my phone must have not updated it. So I would just have to go in and press update. So like I said, whatever one is in the App Store is the most up-to-date version. That's the one
Well,
that you would want.
yours is newer. But maybe it's because you have Apple and I have Samsung. Maybe the version numbers are different.
Oh, that's a good point. If you look in the Kelly, Natalie, or Jess, do you all have a Samsung or Apple? Any of you have a Samsung? Because I'm just curious if you could look.
I have Apple, so I do not have Samsung.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious if that would be different versions in terms of that. So
Hi,
for,
this is
yeah,
this is Margaret. I have an Android phone and my mobile app version is 3.0.44.
okay. All right, that's good to know.
Thank
S-
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for verifying that, Margaret. So I think that answers your question that there are two different versions, but I'll follow up and just see if it should be, just to kind of get clarification. If what I was saying was correct in terms of, you all would go to the Google store and whatever version is up to date in the Google store for you, right, would be 3.0.44, or should be, if that makes sense. And then Apple users would go to the Apple store and make sure that that version is matching. Hopefully that answers that for the moment.
I'll
Is there
probably
yeah,
just have to contact you directly because I have
yeah,
had continuing issues with. I've even called customer service and they got me connected so that my steps were carrying over with my Samsung watch,
yeah.
and it worked for like 2 days. And then it
Okay.
went down. So I think I must have some continuing issue. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Alicia, please reach out to me. And what we'll do is, if you just want to tell me what the issue was, and this way I can handle it on a more intimate level with you as far as figuring out, where there might be a issue with that. So please feel free to reach out, and I'll definitely assist you with that. All right. So Margaret or Johnny, do you all have any extra information or questions or thoughts, or Kelly, because I know you are the main people of the Foundation Health Partners program?
No, thank you so much, Cassidy, for this demo. We will be posting it to the Loop and along with the other information that you've referenced. And so I really appreciate your time. I thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. That sounds great. So I will send you all this recording and we'll get that up to we'll get that on the Wellworks platform, and then I'll send it over to the Foundation Health Partners team so you guys have access to it. And like I said earlier, please reach out to me. Please let me know if you have any questions. That's what we're here for. And we will talk to you all soon. So thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.